And Dr. Robert Kirton and another gentleman that we go way back with. Guys, thank you so much. You all were wonderful. I would say we're going to be watching you, but we don't have to. I mean, Dr. Kirton, good to see you again.
See you.
Thank you for being with us.
TV?
Yes, you're going to be on TV, Dr.
I'm
Kirton.
talking about Kiss.
Oh, Dr. Robert Kirton is the president, CEO, and founder, all of the above, of what is called the BADD program, and that's Black Achievers Determined to be Different. So welcome Dr. Kirton and his crew, or his posse.
I don't know if we had a PowerPoint up here, so I just give a brief overview. And then I'm going to kick it to the individuals we brought with us, some principals and parents. And we had planned to bring some students. One of our students had a test, it's in college, and one got a job today, so he wasn't able to make it. And we had 16 young men with us earlier this morning. We were at Gibbs Middle School for our near-peer model, and it was phenomenal. And we also had 16 females there as well, but they took over the entire school with high school students, mentoring, tutoring, teaching other students. Now, we know the need. We know the challenge. We've been talking about it. But when you talk about black males, they're last in graduation rate, have the highest dropout rate, more likely to be put in special ed. And you're watching television, you see 2 or 3 of us going to jail each and every week. There's an epidemic problem. When you look at this data, it would suggest that all black males are bad, but that is indeed not the case. And when we talk about bad, it's about an attitude. Black achievers determined to be different. See, black has no color. Black is no color. When we look at black achievers determined to be different, it is a mindset, it is an attitude. We have a challenge program, K through 12. And we're also operating now on the college campuses with our certified BADD program. At the elementary level, we have the junior league, where we use superheroes to reach the students, superheroes that look like them. At the middle school level, we have a challenger program. And at the high school program, we have BADD young men. So when we look at each and every separate curriculum, we look at these curriculums as a way to reach these students and help them to be successful. And it's built around 7 challenges. We use a team-building concept, and everything is built around the principles of near-peer mentoring, and we use this teaming concept to reach the young men, engage them, and help them to stay focused. We measure their success through achievement, through attendance, and looking at their attitude. And we keep this data, and we go over this data through our Brothers Keepers program. It's based on 7 challenges. At each level, there's the same 7 challenges. And the first challenge, I won't go through all of them, but the first challenge is character. What goes into a man's heart cometh out. And we encourage every young man to have a personal board of directors. And for example, on my personal board of directors, the most prominent person on my personal board of directors is my mother. She is deceased, but she had a lot of influence on me. Also, Dr. Martin Luther King is on my board. One person who is not on my board is my father. My father did not have an impact on my life. I wish I could go back and rectify that, but he's deceased as well, but he's not on my board. And often, too often, we find young men not having that influence, whether it's in the school, the church. So programs like Call Me Mister and getting our young men in the school teaching and being role models is very important. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to take all the time. I'm going to ask some of our invited guests to come and introduce themselves and tell about the institution and how the BADD program had an impact on their lives. I think we have someone from each and every level, and I'll touch on the elementary a little bit and the certified BADD. We're first going to start off with Mr. Craig Washington, principal at South Middle School in Florence.
Good afternoon. I'm Craig Washington. I'm the principal of Southside Middle School. And every day as an educator, I get the opportunity to make a difference. As an educator, you have an opportunity and an obligation to make changes and open up doors and create opportunities for young people. The BADD program and implementing this particular program at my school has done that. It's one of the first steps that we made in terms of or several of the steps we've made in terms of creating successful learning environments for our students. As we created or got involved in the BADD program at Southside Middle School, I must say that the best way I can describe our program is it's a very diverse program. We have a diversity there amongst the 38 students that participate. We have black males that are involved, white males, Hispanic males, biracial males. We feel that the principles and philosophy of BADD, they work for all students and all learners. We also have diverse learners as a part of the BADD program. We have students that are in a self-contained setting to the honor roll setting or honors setting. These students all are part of BADD because regardless of what their different circumstances might be, the philosophies and the principles of the organization, as the gentleman often put it, the movement of BADD, it transcends all racial color lines. And what I'd like to say is that our students are definitely on the move. We have 38 students that are involved in this mentoring program, and we have additional 48 students that are on our waiting list, which is tremendous. We've been very, very fortunate, and if I can say one thing about the program in terms of how it's transformed my school culture, the one thing that I definitely would say is that the students, they're dressing up every Thursday has had a significant impact. They're dressed for success, and that success has spilled over to other programs at my school. The members of my single gender program now, the girls and the male students now dress up. They dress up every Tuesday because they've seen what a difference that successful outward appearance has on creating and making sure the learner enters the classroom and they're prepared to learn. It's amazing how this program has changed the lives of students that we have had involved within it. One of the students that I want to talk about is Christopher. Christopher was a student that I had the opportunity to attend his IEP meeting as a 6th grade student at one of my feeder schools. Christopher at that time was not as motivated as he is right now. He entered my school as a 7th grade student, and we decided at his IEP meeting, his 6th grade year, that we would allow him to be involved in my Graduate Florence Academy program. And we placed him on that particular list in hopes that he would accomplish that goal. Entering 7th grade, he was going to be turning 15, so he was behind his peers. So what we did, we placed him on that list of potential candidates in hopes that he would rise to the occasion. Now, Christopher, just tell you a little bit about his learning. He was a resource student, and I said was a resource student because Christopher, because of the BADD program, worked extremely hard. He developed leadership skills. He was improved academically, became an honor roll student. And because of his success, we were able to skip Christopher from the 8th grade to the 9th grade, where he currently is a 9th grade student earning credit towards graduation. And that's tremendous. He, I must say, is an example of one of the many success stories that we've had at Southside because of the BADD program. I must say that this program has meant a great deal to my school, but it would not be as successful if it was not for individuals that supported me. And I brought my BADD coach with me, Mr. Jimmy Wilson. He's been very supportive of those students and making sure that our program is successful and that every day we're staying on our students and creating opportunities for growth and learning. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name is Jimmy Wilson. I'm one of the BADD coaches at Southside Middle School. The thing to me, the reason that this program is such a tremendous success is that it involves everybody. It involves the parents. We have what we call a parenting meeting with them so we can sit down and explain the program, and we spend time with our parents. I deal with the parents on a weekly basis. Then we do the teamwork, which allows us to take those young men and we put them in the gym around 6:30 that afternoon, and we let them go around 12 the next day. The wonderful thing about that is we use that board of directors, and you have to put 7 people on your board. Now, I love what you said about your father, because I was reared up by my grandmother, and my father wasn't a part of my life. But I had a student that told me, he said, "Mr. Wilson, I'm putting my father on my board of directors." And I said, "Well, why would you put your father on there and you don't have any involvement with him?" He said, "I'm putting him on there because this man will be an example of who I would never be." And when you can put something negative and take it and put it into a positive light, that's powerful. That is powerful. And this program has allowed these young men to look at what others may see as negative, and they can take it and put a positive spin on it. And now, my young men, I call them mine because they all mine. My young men now, when they walk through Southside Middle School campus, they walk in with their chests out, their grades are up, and the key thing that I've found for these students and what they really want is for somebody to listen. Now, we are educators. We have to learn how to listen to the cry of our young men. It's not hard, people. We can't be so caught up on our lesson plan today that we can't take 30 seconds or a minute to hear what Johnny has to say. And if you want success with the young men, especially black young men that are walking around mad and can't tell you why, take the opportunity to listen. That's all you got to do. And enforce them with reading. We have a 21-book challenge. They love that challenge. Every week, my young men know that I'm going to check their grades. They know I'm going to check their discipline. And when they come to me, if something happens, if they're a teacher reprimand or something, they can find me to let me know what happened before I talk with that teacher. And that's all because of listening. And I got a wonderful administration staff. So we involve the parents, administration, and the students. Thank y'all so much.
Next, we're going to hear from a parent, and his son is the one that got the job today. He plays many roles with us, but I'm going to ask him to speak from the parent perspective. He's also one of the leaders of the Junior Buffalo Soldiers as well. We have collaborated with them and doing some events and things of that nature. And I see others out in the audience that we have collaborated with, and we love to collaborate with some others, like the Call Me Mr. program. That's a little hint. Mr. Johnson.
All right. Greetings, family. Greetings, family. Greetings. All right. Make sure we're alive in here. I am proud to be a South Carolinian. We do a lot of things. We got questions questionable, but we do a lot of things great. And I give thanks to being a bad man. That's right. Black achievers turn to be different. And I give great thanks for this man right here for having not just the vision for bad, but having the courage. It's the courage that we have a problem with. We've got all kind of visionaries that always want to continue to philosophize, but then they do absolutely no work, okay? And so I give great thanks to Dr. Kirton. Let's give him a round of applause. When I heard, and I'm going to be real brief, microphone's a deadly thing, when I first heard of BADD, and I told Dr. Kirton a few years ago, I said, now that's bold. I said, but I love it, and that's exactly what we need. We need bold initiatives to address the serious problems that we have, as opposed to just continue to think that it's just going to get better on its own. It's not. So I definitely give honor to BADD and Richmond Middle College and Ms. Breland. When I heard about Ms. Breland, that she was no nonsense, I said, then I've got to be a part of that. My son Elijah He's not here today, and he's a definitely more eloquent speaker than I, because he did get his job, another job today. But when we first heard about BADD, the summer program, we jumped into it. When I say we, I'm talking about the Junior Buffalo Soldiers Leadership Academy. That's an organization that I founded 7 years ago, and I'm very proud of it. It's a wonderful program. But I also understand and recognize excellence. And when I found out about the BADD summer program, I saw excellence. And so we asked them for at least 6 slots, and they gave us 6 slots for our soldiers. 2 of them were 2 of my sons, Elijah and Mansa. Elijah knows a lot about construction. Why? Because his father taught him. I taught him because I had my own business in real estate investment. Well, that's what Dr. Kirton's forte is in construction. So they really hit it off great. So me and Elijah, my family, were the benefactors of that relationship. Elijah was so motivated that in his school that he attended, he was in the honors program, and he's an athlete. He was willing to give all that up just so that he could attend Richmond Middle College. He and another young man, Ryan, was on the internet researching about the middle college. Not me. They were, and they educated me. And I said, okay, you sure that's what you want? Then let's go for it. We talked to the brother. We got him in. He came to school every day in a tie. He never did that before. And I'm saying all this to say, and he also got in a little bit of trouble, and through the mentoring of Dr. Kirton and Ms. Breland through the Richmond Middle College, he's never looked back. Matter of fact, he's been on speaking engagements, representing BADD to the fullest, making sure that he understands who he is and where he's going, and that it's not just about himself, but it's about the family, it's about the village. So in my closing remarks, what I want to say is this. Again, thank you, thank you, thank you, as well as it takes that courage for us not just to do the right thing, but to support the right thing. So again, I thank you. Thank you all, family.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Johnson, and I really wanted his son to be here because he's the face of some of the things we're doing at the middle school level. We use his picture in our curriculum book. He has dreads. I believe he has an earring.
Yes, he does.
He has an earring. Sharpest young man you ever want to see or be around. You want your son or your daughter to get to know this young man. Now, speaking of females, I'm going to bring up Ms. Breland, who is the dean at the Richmond Middle College. We were on engagement this morning. And I, started to pull rank on her because she had one of our young men who graduated from the program. He wasn't in the BADD attire. You see, we have the tie, the suits, the vest, the T-shirts, the socks, the watch, the shirts, the whole 9 yards. And I said, man, why are you not in your attire? But he had on a Richmond Middle College shirt. And Ms. Breland told me to leave him alone. He's working. So Ms. Breland is the dean of the Richmond Middle College, where I'm proud to serve as executive director of the Richmond Middle College. And we started the program there about 8 years ago, and it's just grown. We got 33 chapters across the state. And one of the other challenges before I bring up is communication. And we talk about communication. People judge you by the way you speak, write, the way you look. And you always hear the saying, we got to get these guys to pull their pants up. Well, we have a saying in BADD. If you pull up a young man's mind, he'll pull up his own pants. Ms. Breland.
Thank you, Dr. Kirton. Again, my name is Audrey Breland, and I am the dean of the Richland Middle College. We are a charter high school located at the Midlands Technical College Beltline campus. We serve 11th and 12th graders, and we are in our 8th school term. For as long as the middle college has existed, there has been Black achievers determined to be different. I have taught in the Low Country of South Carolina before moving and teaching in Richland County School District 1. And those were 2 very different experiences. But the complaints that you commonly hear from educators are the same, whether you're in the Low Country or here in the Midlands. What BADD has shown me is that when students are issued a challenge and there is a systematic system, when there is a system of support along with those high expectations, students rise to the occasion. In the graduating class of 2011 at the Richland Middle College, 97% of our students were accepted into a post-secondary institution. 97%. There have been no expulsions from the Richland One Middle College within the last 5 years. So all of the statistics that you're hearing about black males not graduating, the high expulsion rates, the Richland One Middle College consistently has a 98% attendance rate. Dr. Kirton mentioned that this morning we had 32 students over at Hayward Gibbs Middle School in what we call our near-peer mentoring. That is where we had 16 young ladies and 16 young men went over, and they literally took over a school. I would love for us to do something with Call Me Mister, because these students had to learn classroom management. I venture to say that if I were to randomly pick one, they could come into this room, they could introduce themselves, they could do an icebreaker, and they are phenomenal. And I wish I could just say that girls rule the world. Those girls are participants as a result of what we saw with BADD, and BADD was dressing. BADD was participating in empowerment sessions, which we do every single Wednesday at our school. BADD was going on field studies where they took them to the public library where they're doing the challenge, and it was envy. And so out of that pressure came Jewel. Diamonds out of pressure. Jewel is just exceptional women empowering lives, and it is truly a brother and sister organization. I'm very pleased as a high school administrator to say that BADD started at the middle college, but I'm also a very proud auntie, and this summer I had my 9-year-old nephew from Walterboro come and participate in the BADD Summer Challenge. And just some background, sister had gone through a divorce, and the father who had reared him was in another state, and he said to my father, "I'm supposed to have 2 daddies, but I have none." All of the supports, economic resources are available. And I have a father who is in our life and is certainly in the lives of my nephews and nieces, but we made the collective decision as a family that this program was going to be a benefit to him, where every single day he got to be with young men his age and be mentored by Richland One Middle College high school students as well as the college students. And Malcolm is an interesting young man, intellectually superior to his peers, but he has some anger issues because he has 2 daddies, but he has none. And it was a challenge for a single auntie to have him in her home, but the payoff has come because my mom has said, "Malcolm likes reading now." Why does Malcolm like reading? Because every day, "Auntie, we have to log my stuff. I have to have my books read." And that was because of the challenge issued at BADD. Every day when I picked Malcolm up, what did you do? We had people from the bank come and talk to us about money. They're working with them on financial literacy. They're working with them on health and wellness. They're working with them on pulling up the pants, because we were at the bowling alley and he says, "He's dressed inappropriately, Auntie." And I'll say, "Why?" "He has on an undershirt and I see his underwear." That is what they teach them. And so BADD believes in each one teach one. I think the fact that this is an intervention that begins with elementary level and goes up to college demonstrates that it is a comprehensive program. And, you know, I heard somebody else mention it's not a program, it's a movement. It's a way of thinking. And this morning, Dr. Kirton was asking one of the young men why he was not in his BADD attire. And I said, "Well, Dr. K, he's a part of Team ROMC today." The same way that the students return to the Richland One Middle College, they come back to BADD. Our mission is to nurture students and to plant seeds, and I thank BADD for helping us improve what we do at our school, because the same interventions that work for at-risk students work for those who aren't at risk, but they are all in need. Thank you.
I know that pretty much wraps up our time, but the final challenge is conviction. You see, the 7 stands for completeness, 7 days a week. And we talk about conviction, we talked about the bookends. Character, what goes into a man's heart, and conviction, what comes out. How you going to reach for and help out your brother? How do you measure a man? Looking out from within, looking from without, and looking at your vertical relationship. We teach all those things in the BADD program. I'm a brother's keeper, I'm a bad man, and I'm bad for life. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kirton, and all of your cohorts. We appreciate your being with us today and representing for the BADD program. And indeed, it is a BADD program. I've enjoyed learning about it over the years and seeing the young men who come out of the program and move on to successful college careers and beyond.